Hey guys, welcome back. K-Dub here. I'm going to be doing a series review on Chucky. Now, I enjoyed this series. I did. It was a series that was on USA and Sci-Fi, I believe. Yeah, it should have been on both, from what I remember. But there were only a few episodes, really. What was it? 8? Yeah, I think eight episodes. I mean, bad memory. I'm sorry. If it's not anime related, it's out. But yeah. So this series, well, it's gonna be spoilers. Like I'm letting you know now. There's gonna be spoilers. So if you didn't watch it yet, and you don't want to hear no spoilers, click off, go watch it, then come back. In 3, 2, 1. All right. So if you're still on, you don't care about spoilers. So main character is a kid named Jake. He's in high school. He lives with his dad, who seems to be an alcoholic and very seems like he has anger issues, which also stems down to losing his wife a while ago. And Jake seemed like a disturbed kid too, because he's over here getting pieces of dolls to build sculptures, but the sculptures look weird, like creepy. And while at a yard sale, he buys Chucky. So he was thinking of using the head of Chucky for a sculpture, and we find out that he happens to be gay, and that's something that his dad doesn't really accept. So Jake also gets bullied by both his cousin and his cousin's girlfriend named Lexi. His cousin's name is Junior, and then Junior's girlfriend name is Lexi, and they both pretty much bully Jake. Now Lexi more so than Jake. Jake does it too, but like Lexi seems to be more like on top of it. Like she would go out her way to bully him. And then Junior's best friend is a kid named Devin, who is also gay, but he has this podcast where he talks about pretty much killers and slashers from like movies and real life stuff like that. And he also does give like some positive messages in his podcast. And his mom is a cop, I guess the head cop, but pretty much by the end of the first episode, Jake figures out that Chucky's alive, and Chucky kills Jake's dad after Jake's dad got abusive with Jake. So he hits Jake, and Jake goes upstairs, and he's just angry. So the dad, he goes downstairs to the basement after Chucky turns off the power from the fuse box, and then Chucky kills him by throwing up all his alcohol on the floor where there's a spark plug, and his dad gets electrocuted. First kill from Chucky from the series so far. And then when Jake goes down to investigate, Chucky's in the background, and like as the light goes off, like it's flashing on and off. So as it goes off, Chucky's like here, and then it goes off, Chucky's here. It goes off, Chucky's here. It goes off, Chucky's here. Until and like Jake is like on the ground kneeling, and then Chucky's like right there, and he's like, like like scared, like it was awesome. I love the facial emotional facial expression that they gave the Chucky doll. And the doll was pretty good. Like it looked really good compared to like the last couple of movies. So eventually the cops came to investigate, and they ruled it as an accident. Whereas the head cop, Devin's mom, she also was an accident, but then also is suspicious of Jake. So Jake goes to go live with his uncle, who is Junior's dad, and Junior and the uncle's wife. So it's some three, and they're rich. So they live in a huge house, pretty much a mansion. And we see that the dad is a bit abusive on Junior, where Junior doesn't want to be on the track team, but the dad wants him to be, and Junior is too afraid to really speak up. Whereas the mom knows like the dynamic, but she's more in the middle, like reserved. She doesn't really speak out to like try to tell the dad to stop. So as the series goes on, we have Chucky talking to Jake to try to talk Jake into killing. So his main mark that he's trying to get Jake to kill is Lexi, because Lexi has been bullying him, and Jake has been pretty much against it until Halloween. Lexi dressed up as his dad and was going like acting like playing out as Jake's dad while he died, getting electrocuted, and Jake is pissed. Like he wants to kill Lexi at that moment, but he figures out that Chucky's there too at Lexi's house. That's where the party took place. But Chucky was talking to Lexi's little sister, who I think they imply has mental issues, because the way that her family at least looks out, like tries to take care of her, seems like they're trying to take care of someone who isn't mentally inept to. So she would like scream that she wants Chucky. She like, I want Chucky, like stuff like that. And this is after she saw Chucky like an episode before, when they were at the talent show and Chucky was pretty much roasting Lexi. But since then she wanted Chucky, and Chucky is playing games with her like downstairs while the party's happening, and is pretty much talking to her to like kill Lexi and her family and stuff like that, her mom and dad. And it goes on to where Jake eventually gets Chucky and leaves, because Chucky was like about to kill Lexi, and he just grabs it. And there's other people there, like other kids there, but they didn't really see Chucky. They just saw Jake grab him and leave. So there's points where you think Jake it might kill Lexi. Like he literally went on a run, like a route that Lexi would go on runs on, and he had the knife and he was going to go kill her. But like as the person turned, it was Junior, who was wearing like the same kind of jacket as Lexi, and the scene made it look like it was Lexi though, because it shows her running and stuff. But apparently she went like a different route, and I guess she dropped something like her phone or something, and Junior went to get it for her. So Junior doesn't see the knife, but he's freaked out by like Jake doing that. So he tells Lexi to stay away from Jake because there's something wrong with him. And Lexi doesn't really take too much of the advice, but she eventually goes to his house, Junior's house, to apologize. And Jake is in like a garage, and there's like different blades and weapons. And Jake was at first playing with it, like seeing like what he would use to try to kill Lexi. Lexi comes and she fake apologized, or at least like she apologized, but she's not really sincere, and she tries to get Chucky from Jake by saying, oh well, I apologize, so you should do something for me now. You should give me Chucky. Like, what? So they get into another little argument, and Jake leaves. And then or she leaves, I forgot. Well, one of them leaves the garage, and Lexi makes it seem like Jake is just selfish and unappreciative that she apologized. So there's a party. I'm not gonna say every little thing though, because you could just watch it. There's a party that Lexi's having where it's no sound party. So they wear headphones, and so the music is playing directly in the headphones. So then they go over here just dance with each other while making loud noises for the neighbors. So a bunch of kids, a good amount of kids, are there having fun, like Junior, Devin, and some other kids. And Lexi goes upstairs to smoke, and Chucky went upstairs to go kill her. And this is on Halloween, I think. No, it was on Halloween. It was on Halloween. Halloween was the episode before that. But he goes upstairs and he's hiding, and he sees someone walking by, so he slashed her leg. They fell, and it's this kid who was like flirting with Lexi in front of Junior. So Junior already had issues with him, so he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were Lexi." Oh well, and then he just kills him, and we find out that Lexi's sister, I forgot what happened, but something happens to where she gets hospitalized, and she wanted Chucky, so they were looking for Chucky, but Chucky got burnt because after killing that kid, he goes into Lexi's room and scares her, and she drops her smoke, which caught fire in her room, and somehow she escaped. Somehow she escaped Chucky, who had a knife and was right there. So she finally believes Jake, because Jake tried to convince her like Chucky is evil, real, whatever. And then her and Jake pretty much join teams to try to take down Chucky, because Chucky obviously went after her, and she finds out that he's after her because of Jake, and because Jake does go off on her because she was like blaming him for like, oh, it's your fault for like trying to kill me or having kill me. He goes, well, if you weren't such a, then this wouldn't have happened, kind of thing. So they're over here looking for Chucky, and Chucky. It seems like there's more than one Chucky, because Chucky was in the hospital, but then he was also at the house, like Lexi's house, which is where they went to go look for her. Eventually, a cop finds them, but Chucky acts like a normal doll, and he takes Chucky with them, leaves them in the car, takes the doll to Lexi's sister's room. Chucky kills the doctor in that room, and then when they all eventually like converge into that room, I think one of the nurses finds the cops dead, like with a bunch of needles into him, and the kids, Devin eventually believes him at this point, so they all, like, somewhat, because they told him about it, and they all look at Chucky, and then Chucky flips them off, and that's where that episode ends. So now all three of them are trying to figure out how to take Chucky out, and more people are just dying. So Lexi's mom and Devin's mom pretty much got their teacher arrested because she had a pass where she a criminal pass, and they pretty much just put the blame on her, even though they didn't really have any evidence. And they just have things that made it made it look like it was her, kind of things. Like she was the last person to see a certain person alive, for example. But it's not like they caught her in any of the acts or anything like that. So Chucky pretty much kind of framed her, I think. But we see her at the police station getting interrogated, and what else happened in that episode? We see Jennifer Tilly. I don't know if it was that episode, the one after, but we see pretty much, because there's also flashbacks. So you see some stuff about like how Chucky became Chucky, pretty much from a kid growing up, and how he kind of tutored some people. So he killed his mom apparently when he was a kid, while a murderer was in their house. So before the murderer could even get to them, Chucky already killed his mom. And when the murderer opened the door, he sees that, and then he takes a liking to Chucky, and then he takes the knife from Chucky, wiped it off, and like, always clean up after yourself so you don't get caught. Chucky smiles, and then he says, "I think you're gonna make it, kid," and he leaves. So that's in one of the flashbacks. In another flashback, Chucky's at an orphanage house where he was good with the kids, but he was more like teaching them, kind of like to see like who had more, who would be more willing to like do bad things and evil stuff. And one of them was Eddie Caputo, who is pretty much his partner in the first movie. So he's the one who pretty much schooled the person that becomes his partner later on in life. Because I'm pretty sure that his name was Eddie, and I could have sworn that was the name of the guy that he was partnered with, the getaway driver in the beginning of the first movie. So, this is gonna be a long one. So let me try to speed it up a little bit. So, and then we also have flashbacks of how he met Tiff, and how. So we get a flashback between past Tiff and Charles and current. So Chucky is. Oh, pretty much the plan is Chucky is getting other dolls because the doll that he was in gets damaged from the fire and stuff. He puts his soul into another Chucky doll. So instead of splitting him from that doll into the other doll to where they're both alive, he fully transferred himself into the other doll. So the kids find the old doll and destroyed it, thinking that they killed Chucky. But Chucky's now in this new doll, new Chucky doll. So, or good guy doll, I should say. So, which is weird because in Cult of Chucky, he split his soul. So even if one of them was messed up, he still split his soul into other Chucky dolls, and it still kept that body. So then there would have been two Chucky dolls going around, but it was like burnt, so he didn't really care to stay in that body. But you still would have thought that he would still be out there, at least as a safeguard. You know, like, okay, so I have you go somewhere else. So if something happens to me, to this body, you're alive. Like, you would think he would do that, but I mean, he didn't. And then Tiff is with Nika. So Nika is coming in and out. So sometimes Chucky's in control of her body, and when Chucky is controlled, she's able to walk. But then, like, when it switches like that, she drops to the ground, and it's Nika, because Nika can't walk. Which is weird, because I'm like, if Nika's body physically can't walk, then Chucky shouldn't walk either. That makes no sense. anyways, so we see that struggle between them, and Tiff eventually figures it out and duct tapes Nika so that Nika can't do nothing. So, and she starts to like Nika more than Chucky because Nika treats her better than Chucky, from what she says. So she wants to keep Nika as pretty much her lover. Well, but Nika isn't into girls. Like, she's into guys. Like, we ever only saw Nika talking to guys, like in the 2 movies that she was in. It's like so Nika pretty much has to like try to play like, yeah, like, don't kill me kind of thing. But she of course wants to escape. Devin, like, the kids should try to create a plan to trap Chucky and kill him, which fails. Chucky eventually just kills Devin's mom by the end of it, and he could have killed Devin, but he didn't. He could have killed Lexi, but he didn't. So the kids were like, he could have killed us, but he didn't. Like, what is Chucky after, kind of thing. And Andy, we see Andy and Kyle, like, they were going around looking for other good guy dolls, and we see them find one at this home, and the daughter, she brought him out, and then Andy had it, and I think he did something, or I think he just threw it down, and Andy and Kyle just shot it. But before they did, Chucky was like came alive, and then he like cursed out Andy, and they just shot the doll multiple times, and killing it, and then they just speed off. They eventually get a call from Jake, because Andy contacted Jake to like warn him, but he didn't really know where he was at, really. He just contacted him online because Jake was trying to sell the Chucky doll, so that's how he found him. But he asked him where he was at, and then he was like, all right, we're on our way. So they're like states away, and they're driving there. Andy eventually leaves Kyle somewhere, and then goes to Hackensack, which is the town that everything's taking place. So Chucky pretty much kills Junior's mom, which made it look like an accident, and then Tiff goes to the funeral and kisses Junior's dad, which makes Junior think that the dad had been cheating on the mom, who they also found out had cancer. So the story is that like she killed herself because of depression, but we all know, of course, it was Chucky who did it. Like, we see it, and Junior eventually is shown talking to Chucky, even though when he was told that Chucky was alive, he called Lexi childish and didn't believe her, which is weird. So did he know that Chucky was alive at that point, or did he find out after that point? But if he found out after that point, then why would you still treat Lexi, Devin, and Jake the way you've been treating them after that fact? So that's a bit weird because we don't know at what point he found out that Chucky was alive, but Chucky pretty much talks him into trying to kill Jake, because Jake and Devin like pretty much broke up after Devin's mom died. He just, whenever he saw Jake, he saw his mom pretty much. So he didn't want to see Jake, but he pretty much not got over it, but he kind of like talked to Jake through his podcast, saying not to like give up and stuff like that, while Jake was gonna leave. And Junior had a knife, and he was like looking at Jake as Jake like went in the Junior's dad's wallet to take out money and left. So he didn't kill Jake. He could have, because Jake was open. Like Jake wasn't, like his back was all open. Like he could have just came up and killed him if he wanted to. So he probably wasn't fully ready for it. But after another run-in with Tiff, who pretty much implied that she was fooling around with Junior's dad, Junior, with the Chucky doll, hits his dad, who is drunk. And he keeps hitting his dad until he kills his dad using Chucky's doll head. And Chucky's reacting like, because he's like hitting him over and over. So we see Chucky's reaction to being used as a weapon. And Chucky is happy about that. He was like, finally, one of you, stupid kids finally decided to play the game and like kill someone. Like he got a kid to kill someone. And the moment that happened, these other Chucky dolls that Tiff had placed in Chucky's old house all start to come alive, and they all turn their heads. And they're looking at Devin, who got captured by Nika / Chucky. So Devin went into Chucky's old house to investigate, where he found Nika tied up. And Nika was asking him to save her, like release her. And he knows nothing about Nika. So the moment he did, Nika, which is Chucky, looked at his bag, which is the taser, and eventually, we don't really see it, but he would have tased Devin and had him tied up at that point. So Devin's just tied up in a room where there's a bunch of Chuckies looking at him. So, and at the end, Andy shows up, and that's where the last episode starts, with Andy showing up, and Chucky's like, "Ah, oh, crap, it's Andy Barkley." And then Junior's like, "Who's that?" He goes, "Someone who wasn't strong enough to be one of us," type thing. So Andy goes in the house after Junior lets him in. He was looking for his parents. He's told them, "My mom's dead. My dad's here though." So Andy goes looking around. He's like asking him questions, which was kind of creepy when you think about it. Like it's a grown man going into a house where he said his dad was there, but like you don't just go in. Well, I mean, I guess Junior did invite him in, but still, it was weird. And Junior just killed his dad, so yeah. So Chucky was hiding in the toilet, but there was water in the bathtub. So Andy went like this, and went like this, like I guess look around, I guess to see if there was a dead body in there or something. And then he was like, a bit cold. And then he leaves shortly after, and then Chucky comes out the toilet, and he's like, "I knew he wouldn't look in here. There's nothing wrong with that kid or that guy or whatever." But so Andy leaves, and eventually Chucky and Junior goes to Chucky's old house to meet up with Tiff, and there he catches up with the Chucky in Nika's body knocks Tiff down and was gonna kill her, but Chucky, the doll Chucky, stops that Nika's Chucky and said help her up, and then she pretty much yells at Nika's Chucky, but then is lovey-dovey with the doll Chucky, like lifts him up and stuff, like kisses him. And in my head, I'm like, Junior is seeing this. Why isn't he really reacting? Like he has like a face and stuff, but like nothing about like confusion or shock or nothing. Because I'm like, you only killed your dad because you thought he was cheating on your mom, because that's what you were implied to believe. But now you find out that the person that told you that she was messing with your dad is really Chucky's girl. And then Chucky also talked you into killing your dad. Like, he's not thinking. I mean, you're in high school. You're not stupid. You're not a little child. Like, you should be able to put all those information together to, know that Chucky manipulated you. Like, come on. Anyways, Devin is there, and Chucky eventually tells Junior to kill Devin. And he was like, I had to kill Devin. And then something else happened, but eventually Tiff got into an argument because the Chucky with Nika Chucky falls down and it becomes Nika. And Chucky noticed that Tiff has an attachment to Nika. So he orders Tiff to kill Nika. She was like, what? But she's a part of you. Like, your soul's in there. And he's like, I don't care, kill her. And she was like, I can't do it, Chucky. So then he goes, Junior, kill Nika. And then Junior was like, huh? So then Junior takes the knife and he was going to do it. And he stops because Tiff gets the doll Chucky and uses her nail filer to like cut off the doll Chucky's head after they were arguing for a little bit. So she then tells Junior not to even, because Junior was gonna go close to her like to try to attack her. She warns him like, who you think is gonna get you out of this town, him or me? And then Junior stops and starts to listen to her, and she got a shot, like a needle out her her breast, pretty much, like her bra or whatever, her dress part of it, and gives it to Nika, and knocks her out. And then gives rope to Junior to tie Nika up, and then she opens up this small suitcase type thing where she said Glenda, her daughter, gave it to her, and it's a bomb. So it has a laser, so if anyone opened that door and like blocks the laser from hitting its sensor, it's gonna blow up. So Andy shows up, and he's already in the basement, and he takes off the tape from Devin's mouth and unties him. And Devin tells Andy there's a bomb by the door, and Andy was like, I figure they might have something like that. And he tells Devin to leave, and Devin also tells Andy about the multiple Chuckies in the van that they had to be sent away. So Andy now got that information. But Kyle shows up, and she opens the door, and Andy is trying to yell to her not to. She opens it, the bomb goes off. And then Jake and Lexi wake up because they were drugged from Kyle. Kyle drugged them, so they don't get involved and get hurt. They wake up and read on the news that the house blew up, and they knew Devin was there, and they were going to try to go there to save him, but they got drugged. So after a while, Devin finds Jake at his house, in his old room, and they reunite, and then they go to meet with Lexi. Where Lexi would be at, and she's at a press conference with her mom and sister, and dad is not there. Like, the dad's not there yet, but it's a movie theater, and Tiff gives a speech of saying that she's gonna donate the dolls that she has. Like, it was I think 74 in total. I think there's 74 dolls or 74 Chuckies, so about 72, 73, because one of the dolls were killed by Tiff, and then one was in Nika, I believe, but about 74 dolls. So she was going to donate those to sick kids around the country. So she gives one to Lexi's little sister because she was saying she wanted Chucky. So they go inside to watch a movie, and then Chucky gets down and then goes under the seat. The mom gets up to go get some candy, and Chucky like sticks the knife up to like try to kill her, but she was already up. The dad comes and sits down where the mom was at before, and the mom went to go get candy. And in the background, Lexi was confronted by Chucky and Junior. Junior was trying to convince Lexi to join them, whereas she was saying no, that's not her. And she's talking to Junior, saying, "This isn't you. Like you're not him. You're not a man. You're a kid, just like me. Like what are you doing?" type thing. And then Junior eventually, I guess, found his conscience and goes to attack Chucky, who threatens to kill Lexi. So he goes. He has a knife, and he goes to stab Chucky like right in the chest, like Chucky's heart. But Chucky also stabs him. So they both die. That's Chucky's weak point, his heart. Like, you can't decapitate him, he'd still be alive. So he gets stabbed in the heart and they both die. And then Jake and Devin eventually shows up after a bunch of people ran out, because the Chucky that was with Lexi's sister went around stabbing people up the seat. So the first one to die was Lexi's dad. And then when the mom found out, she screamed, and then pretty much everyone starts to get up and run away. So the mom pretty much left her youngest daughter sitting there watching the movie, and because again, she has something wrong with her, so she's not really like alert to like run away or nothing like that. And everyone's like, most people are running away, and Chucky's just going around stabbing other people who are somehow still sitting down and dying from being stabbed from the butt, pretty much. I don't anything that would kill you like in one shot, but apparently it does in here. And Lexi's mom gets knocked down, and then as she tries to get up, someone like steps on her back, like use her to like jump up and run. She goes down, and then someone came and like kicked her, and she gets knocked out. So I'm surprised Chucky didn't kill her, but eventually Jake and Devin comes, and Jake tells Devin to take Lexi's sister out. So and then he hears something, so he looks under the chairs and he sees Chucky running. And he goes, "Devin, he's going!" So Devin takes the sister and runs out right as Chucky gets into the main hall. And then Jake yells at him to come after him. So then Jake is here and Chucky's here. Jake runs around. Chucky just runs through. So as Jake goes all the way around to go up, Chucky just slices his leg, and then it just became like a fight between them type thing, to where Jake is like finding Chucky, who's on top of him, trying to stab him, and then Jake pushes him off, and Devin comes back. Oh, the battery's gonna die. Pushes him off and eventually kills him by choking him right when Devin's there. At the end, they all meet up. They find out that Junior was killed from Lexi, and then they see Andy go like knock the driver out and take the car and drive off. Tiff sees that, and he didn't run into Tiff's car for some reason, didn't try to kill her. And as Andy's driving out of town, the window breaks, and it's the doll Tiff pointing a gun at him saying, "Drive, Andy." And it ends there, so we don't even know what's going to happen. But there's going to be a season 2. I can't wait to see it. Like, subscribe, comment down in the section below what you thought of the series. If you saw any of the movies, what you thought about the characters, which character was your favorite, which one you dislike the least, do you believe Junior deserved to die, like all this stuff. Let me know in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. I'm out.